Hello, thanks for joining us, everyone. You guys having a great day? We're joined today with Pierre. We're going to be talking about the walkthrough of Wasm contract transaction fees on Astar. This is ATT number 8. So we've had 8 of these Astar Tech Talks. So hope you guys enjoyed our previous talks. So you can check them out on our YouTube and Crowdcast and check out more on our previous. So this is going to be a short intro here. So we're going to be introducing ourselves, and then we're going to have our presentation. So we're going to go through some slides on the event as well as a live demo. And then we're also going to have a Q&A question for everybody who want to join, ask any questions for the session. And then we'll also add any optional updates for us to let you guys know what's going on in our ecosystem as well as what we're building as well. So yeah, you want to introduce yourself, Pierre?
Yes, I'm Pierre, senior Wasm developer in Astar. And I'm in Astar since 1 year. And today, I think since the launch of Wasm in Astar, beginning of April, we have a lot of questions about how the transaction fees are handled for Wasm smart contract, because everybody knows how it's doing in the EVM. So we decided to create this ATT to just focus on this, to add it to doc as well, and to explain it for every users and developers out there.
For sure.
It will be only 30 minutes. It will be really short and really straightforward, so it will not be long.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Dustin Lee, content creation manager at Astar Network. I've been here since October, so coming up a year, about 4 months, 5 months. So yeah, about 7 or 8 months I've been with the team. So yeah, if you guys see me, I'm always on Twitter and constantly posting tweets and letting you guys know what's going on. So, but without the team, of course, I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So appreciate everybody with the team and letting us know what's going on, building, and also the ecosystem building as well. So we have a lot going on. If you guys haven't checked out what we've been doing, and definitely stay tuned with all our updates on our Twitter. So yeah, we'll just go through the stream right now. Let's see. Make sure everything's good. So we'll be simulcasting this on our Twitter. I believe the audio is not picking up right now. Let's see what's going on here. Settings. So bear with me for a second, guys, and I will be adding this audio. Hopefully this will fix it. Okay, well, that's not going to fix it. So hopefully on YouTube, you can check out YouTube right now and see if you guys are live on YouTube. We are live right now as well. Check that as well. Yep, we're live on YouTube. So if you want to check out this video, we're also simulcasting on YouTube. If you've seen this on Twitter, unfortunately, it's working as well. But you check out on Crowdcast. So let's go with the slides. There are these slides right now.
I can share my screen, Dustin, if you want.
Oh, you're going to share your screen? Okay.
Yeah, it will be easier, so I can share until the end.
Okay.
Okay, so we are ready to start.
Sounds great.
We will see Wasm contract transaction fees on Astar. It's the same in Shiden, but we will see the difference. So what is transaction fee in Wasm? So as you may know, the execution engine for Wasm smart contracts, meaning Ink, Ask, and Solidity, when you compile it with Solang, is pallet contracts. So Astar is made of substrate frame pallets, and one of these pallets is pallet contracts. So every all the transaction fees is managed as pallet contracts level. So here they will basically only talk about the execution engine, so pallet contracts. It's made of two things. First thing is gas, and second thing is storage rent. So guys, I think you're familiar with it. It's like any other pallets. It's weight. Since some months, it's weight V2. We'll see what is it. But basically, it's a mechanism that charge for execution time. So more your function takes time, more it needs powerful resources, more you will pay transaction fees. On top of that, there is a novel mechanism that is called storage rent. And here today, this is what will take time to explain. But what is it? It's a mechanism to prevent on-chain storage spamming and ensure that every user have a financial stake when they store something on chain. So that means if you want to spam the blockchain, then you will have to rent, so basically to stake a lot of your native token in order to spam the network. So nobody will have incentivized to do so. So what is weight V2? So it's made of two things. The first thing is execution time. So it's the amount of computational time that can be used for execution. So in picoseconds, so every picosecond is actually one. And the second thing is proof of data. So basically, it's the size of data in bytes that need to be included in the proof of validity in order for relay chain to validate all the state change that is in the transaction. So basically, it will load all the contract and put inside every state changes of your contract storage, and then will create a proof. It will be sent via network to the relay chain, and the relay chain will actually replay this based on this proof and validate the state change. So basically, gas is weight V2 is ref time and proof size. Please note that at the moment in Shiden, in Astar, you are only charged for ref time, so as before, and proof size is just a mechanism to ensure you don't that some malicious user cannot perform what we call a proof of value attack. But right now you are not charged for it, but there is a max proof size, and if you call exceed this max proof size, it's a value that is set per block, then you call will not be possible. So what is storage rent? I'll ask the chat, is someone know what is this image? I think if you, it's from Germany, but I don't know if some people know that. So it's called fund. So basically it's a recycling system in Germany. What is it? When you buy a beer, you have to pay a bit more for the deposit fee. So if your beer is one euro, you basically pay €1 and 20 cents. And once the empty bottle gets returned, you are refunded. And this, like anybody, can return the empty bottle and be refunded. It's not only the people who have bought the bottle that will be refunded for it. And this system incentivizes recycling. And this is exactly the same for storage rent in Wasm smart contract. So we call it automatic deposit collection. And it's a mechanism that ensures that whoever grows on-chain storage should have a financial stake, and whoever remove on-chain data get refunded. So how to calculate this? There is two different fees. There is one fee for each storage item, so deposit per item, and one for each byte of storage, deposit per byte. So this is what we have set for Shiden and Astar. So there is a 100x factor because the total circulating supply of Astar is 100 times bigger than Shiden. So what is an item? An item is a new storage cell. So it's a bit technical, but every mapping, for example, when you store a new mapping, so a key value, it will use a new storage cell. So we will have to pay one deposit per item fee. And per byte, it's the length of the value added in bytes. So for example, if you add a key value and the value, it's a mapping like of account ID and U128, then you will pay 30 bytes, 100 bytes. For users, what does it mean exactly? I think this is important because everybody is asking this as users. So what will happen when you store on-chain data? It will be taken from your free balance, so as a transaction fee, and it will be transferred to the reserved balance of the contract. When you check on the Explorer, Block Explorer, you will see all the events, and you will see that there is some balance transferred from your free balance to the reserved balance of the contract. If a user wants to get it back, it should remove on-chain data. But it's only possible if the smart contract exposes a function that allow callers user to remove data from chain. If there is no such function, then it's not possible to get these rent fees back. So for smart contract developer, if you are Ink developer or Ars developer, you should think about how the user can get this refund. So you should either expose a function that allow user to remove on-chain data, or when you do some action, you should at the end remove data when it's not needed anymore. Let me give you an example. For example, for a lottery contract, you have like rounds, and it's great that at the end of every round, you actually delete every data that was needed for this round. Then something really important for you as developer and users, if you use a smart contract interaction UI like Polkadot.js UI or Contracts UI, it's when you do a contract call, one of the argument is a storage deposit limit, and this value is a maximum amount of storage rent that can be charged for a single call. By default, it's set to none, but that means that you allow maximum amount of storage rent. So basically, the contract can drain an arbitrary amount of your free balance to the reserved balance of the contract. And of course, this only happens if the contract is unverified and your actually interacting with malicious contracts. So it's just like an extra layer of security. So it's necessary to set a limit to this storage deposit limit. So for UI developer, it's really easy. You first dry run, get this value, and then set it as storage deposit limit, as you will do with gas, estimated gas. So let's have a quick demo. So here I made a really, wait. Here I have a really simple contract that has a storage struct made of a mapping, an integer, and a boolean. When I call the constructor, it will just bootstrap a default constructor. Then I have two messages, one to update this integer, one to flip this boolean value as a flipper, one to add a mapping entry, so the caller actually insert its account ID and a U32. One to remove a mapping entry, where the caller you actually remove caller, so the key. So you need first to add the mapping, and then you can remove it. And then remove an arbitrary account ID from the map. And then we will call self.terminate, because you can actually delete this contract instance. And we will see that when you delete the contract instance, you will get the whole storage deposit refunded. So let's deploy this contract in contracts UI. So upload new contract, rent.contract. If there is question while I'm explaining, you can use the chat. Next. So here, wait. Okay. So here, call update U32. So it will basically just update a U32. You see there is no storage deposit, because I just update a value. I don't like add more value to the storage. Same for flip bool. Of course, there will be some weight, but no storage deposit. But when I add a mapping entry, so let's go back to what it do. So add mapping entry, I will take the caller. So if I call this Alice, and it will insert in the mapping Alice and actually 1. And here you can see that it use 408 mlock. So this value, I actually created a local node, testing node, but with the exact value of Astar. So it will be the same amount in Astar. And let me explain why. So first, I insert one new item to storage, because here Alice has never entered this function, so its account ID is not part of the mapping. So I create a new item. So the fees is 0.4 Astar. And then the value of the mapping is a U32, so it's 4 bytes. So basically it's 4 times the price per byte, which is 2 milliastar, so 8 milliastar. So total price is 408 milliastar. So that's why here the price is this. So I will call it. Then if I call it with Bob, it has also the same amount of fee. But then if I want to call it from Alice back, then the charge is 0 because the mapping of Alice is already here. So here, if I call it right now, it will just update the value and not store a new item. So that's why there is no storage deposit. And now I want Alice to get its storage deposit back. So I call remove mapping entry. What will it do? Remove mapping entry. So it will take the color, so Alice, and then it will remove Alice from the mapping. So it's exactly the same calculation, and then I will get refunded. And you can see here that the storage deposit is set as refund. Okay, while if I call this, for example, Dave, it's called as charge. So here, call contract. So here it just like as a UI, but actually it gets refunded with 408. Okay. But what is also what I should explain is that here in remove entry account ID, I pass who. So that means I will call this with Alice and I will remove Bob. But Bob like paid storage rent because he add himself to the mapping, but here I will call it with Alice, and actually Alice will be refunded and not Bob. Here you see Alice get refunded. Sorry, it's I need to call. Okay, now I can call Bob. I will do entry account and then Alice. But now I remove it. So I need to first add mapping entry again for Alice, and then Bob call remove add bring, and yeah, I don't know why it's I remove account ID, and here you see that when I call with Bob Alice, it's Bob that get refunded. Okay. And now let me add Bob again, Alice again. Okay, and now let's call terminate. So terminate, what does it do? It's a function in Ink that usually it's not exposed to anyone, and most of the contract will not expose it, but it will basically delete the smart contract address and refund three different things. First thing, when you instantiate a contract, the deployer should pay 1 Astar of fees because the contract ID will be an address and it should pay the existential deposit. Second thing, whoever calls terminal contract will get back the balance of the contract if the contract has balance, but in this example, the contract does not have balance. And it will also get refunded the storage rent. And here we see that Alice will get refunded 1 lock because of the existential deposit of the contract, and all the rest is the storage rent that was accumulated at contract instance station, because you need to bootstrap the default storage and everything that was put after by Alice and Bob in the mapping. So if I call save.terminate, Alice gets refunded, and then if I want to call any other function, of course it will not work because the contract is not found. It's just like removed from on-chain. Okay, that's all for the demo. I don't know if you have questions. I don't see questions, so I think that's all.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to join our Q&A. Also, you just leave a message in the chats. Yeah, we have a question to add here. If anyone is going to ask any questions right now, feel free at any moment. So will the storage rent fees will be updated in the future?
Yes, so what I've showed you with the price per byte and price per item, this is set for now, just like ensure there is no on-chain spamming, but it's really about tokenomics. So if we update our tokenomics in the future and make it, of course, better, then this can be updated.
Yeah, that's good to know. Very useful.
And I want to share the doc, because this everything that I've said is also part of Astar doc. So if you want to deep dive into it, if you're a user or smart contract developer, then please have a look at it.
Also to mention, everyone, if you haven't seen or you want to keep up with the slides that we just showed, you can check out the slides here.
So I think that's all. Thank you guys for coming. I tried to make it short. It was nice to present to you this. And if you have questions, you have Discord, Twitter. We'll be happy to answer anything.
Sure. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can message us on our Twitter, Discord, mention Telegram. Just to mention what we're doing right now, we have an event with Mandala on Friday, so stay tuned with more updates from that, as well as we have a there's a Mandala and Blues NFT Twitter space happening today, and then also a really cool thing going on with Seller and Injective. So stay tuned for more updates on that as well. Discord handle. Do we share yours directly, or if we want to just go in the chats and then I can share that with here if that works?
No, I think the Astar, there is a channel called Wasm, Pillar Wasm, and I usually check it and respond here. So if you have question about it, you can use a Wasm channel.
Sure. I'll add our Discord here, so definitely check out the Wasm channel if you haven't already. Join our Discord, and then also I'll share our links to our Twitter and Telegram, so that way you guys can be up to date on everything. So I'll just share that with you guys real quick here. So here is our Twitter and also our Telegram. So here. And anybody interested in joining our ambassador program as well, you can join our ambassador program. Definitely help us educate our community. We got some big things coming up here. And yeah, so here is our Telegram as well. So thank you everyone showing up. Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate you demoing and presenting with us today. And stay tuned for our next ATT09 Astar Tech Talks number 9. That should be coming out in May. So stay tuned for more updates on that.
Yes, thank you guys. Bye.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.